Thanks a lot, Mr. Ngola, for the detailed presentation. We really appreciate saying. Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation will be on the workplace skills plans and annual training reports online process that will be demonstrated by none other than Ms. Mihloti Minga, our skills planning practitioner.
The IndiSub system can be accessed on the SASSETA website using Chrome, Explorer, or Edge. So therefore, you'll be required to type sasseta.org.za. You go to login to SASSETA, and then it will give you the following information. For the first-time user, you are required to register as a new SDF. Here you are required to choose whether you are primary SDF or a secondary SDF. For a primary SDF, you are required to tick there, and then you register. The system will give you a blank page, which requires you to capture all the information required. All your personal information, your ID number, your name, and the postal address. So all information there need to be filled before you can be accepted at SASSETA. After doing that, the system will prompt you to proceed, to save and proceed. After proceeding, it will require to attach a letter from the organization stating that you've been appointed as an SDF. And for those that are already registered as an SDF, you are just going to type in your login details and the password, and then you click on login. By clicking on login, you'll find this page here, SDF dashboard. On the SDF dashboard, you are required to go to your details as an SDF, and you select the company that will be representing. If ever there are information that has changed in the past year, you are required to go to Edit button, and you update the information. After updating the information, whatever that need to be changed there, maybe the cell phone number has changed, you can go and type in the cell phone number or the contact number, then you save the information. After saving the information, you go to the organizational details. And then you are required to choose the company that will be representing in case you've got more than 2 organizations that you're representing. So you must click on that one, and then you save. After doing that, you go back to the home page on the dashboard, and you click the company that you wish to submit the WSP for. You click on the magnifying glasses, and then you edit. Before you can submit your WSP, you need to update all the information beforehand. So all information there need to be updated. And after updating, you must click the confirm button there, and you scroll down and you save the information. After updating the information of the organization, you will be required to go to the organizational contact. And there you are supposed to give us the information of the contact person in the organization, because you will be maybe an external SDF. In case you are not available, we're supposed to contact that particular person. If the information has changed, you go to create and you capture new information for the person that will be contacted. After capturing all the information there, you save the information. The next icon will be the organizational bank details. There you are required to update the banking details in case it has changed as well. You capture all the information, you populate new information if ever there was no new information, and you save it. So it will tell you that the record has been saved successfully. After doing that, if you've got more than 2 companies that belongs to the same institute, you can go and link the organization. You link it by typing the SDL number there. Maybe it will be X000082. then the company will be linked there. You don't need to capture information for 2 different companies, so all the information will be in one WSP. After doing that, you go to the organization CFO details. If information has changed, you go and edit, and then you type the new information for the new CFO, and you confirm the details and you save it again. After doing that, you go to, I will pack the approved SDF because it's only done by the SASSETA officials. And then the plan report, I'll pack it as well. We'll come to it later. You go to the training committee. Under the training committee is where you are required to upload information, the minutes of the training committee meeting. That one is required for company that has employee of more than 150. That's for large organization. Small and medium company, there's no need for you to upload the information. Those information you are required to upload it under document upload. So you'll click on document upload. Here, you'll be required to upload the authorization page. Each and every year you have to sign a new SDF. The new SDF must sign, the owner of the organization must sign, and the employee rep must sign, and then you upload the information. So if your authorization page is ready, you are required to add the document. To add the document, you need to go to choose file. Already you have saved your information on your laptop or computer. So you need to go to choose file. Under your document, you choose the information that you want to upload, and then you go and upload the information. The next information that you need to upload will be the training committee, which I said is required for organization that has more than 150 employees. You do the same, you add the document, and then you upload. The other information is proof of training. For all the company that has done the training, you are required to upload 10% of the training that has happened in the organization. And then you add the document there, and then you upload as well. You are also required to upload company name change information. If ever your company has changed the name, then you can also upload that information there. But if ever there are no changes, there's no need for you to go and change and upload the information. The last one will be the bank confirmation letter. Also, that one you need to go and attach the recent banking detail, which is not older than 3 months. You upload all those documents there. And the next icon will be the grant and levies. There is where you can check the levies that the company is contributing at SARS. But because this one is a demo, there will be no information there, but you are going to click on the particular year that you want to view information for, and then you go and view. So it will list the levy history of the organization. So the next one will be the client relation manager. There's no need for you to worry about that one. And the EMP 201, there's no need for you to worry about that one. You can leave it blank. The most important part of the INDICIAM system is the plan and report, which you are required to go and complete all the information. Okay, so you go to plan and report to capture the information of the workplace skills plan and the annual training report. Before you can do that, you need to create the workplace skills plan and annual training report for 1st April 2021 to 31 March 2022. And you're going to create. So it will show all the different years. The other years already has been submitted. So now we are working on 1st April 2021 to 31 March 2022. And then you go and create the form for that particular year. So the form here has been created, and then you must go and highlight. That WSP. Once it shows the green light, you go and view edit plan report form. When you go to that page, it will show you the mandatory grant application form for 1 April 2021 to 31 March 2022. And it's going to ask you whether it's your first time submission or not. If ever it's your first time submission, it's not going to create an annual training report. But if ever it's not your first time submission, then it's going to create the annual training report as well. So we are going to say no because we have submitted before, and then we save. By doing that, it's going to create all the forms from section A to section I. Therefore, you are going to select and capture and populate all the information from section A to section I. You cannot capture information on section A and move to section D. You have to follow the sequence of the alphabet. So here we're going to update information on administrative detail for section 1, which we've already updated under organizational details. So we're just going to say save here. It said the record has been saved. We go to the next form. The next form is about the contact details, which is the CFO, which already we have captured. So we check if all the information is correct. The banking details, if ever they are still correct. If they are not correct, you can even change here. But if everything is correct, you're going to save the information. We go to the next form, which will be section C1. So it's either you can go to next form or you go to back to MGA forms. When you go to MGA forms, it will show you that the first 3 sections has been captured already. So now we are going to the next section, which is section C1. And you click on it. Under section C1, that's where we're going to capture employment summary of the organization. To capture that information, you need to have an OFO code, the occupation OFO code. So you're going to click on the magnifying glasses. If you know the OFO code, you're going to type in there. If you don't know the OFO code, you're going to type the description. Maybe we're talking about an officer. You're just going to type officer, and then you search. So it will give you all the officer, and you're going to click on the relevant one. Maybe we need a business development officer, and then you highlight it, and then you select. After selecting, it will show there that that's a business development officer that you want to capture information about. And then the company, where's the company located? It's in Tshwane Metro. So now we are going to capture how many development officers do you have in your organization. If you've got 2 males, we're going to say, so it's only numeric that is required there. You're going to say you've got 3. African male under the business development officer. If you've got Asian under female, you're just going to say 2. So altogether, we've got 5 business development officer, which 3 are African male and 2 are Asian female. And what are their age group? Maybe 2 of them are under the age of 35, and the 3 are between 35 and 55. So you're just going to type 2 and 3 there. And information must correspond. If you say you've got 5 here, you cannot have 6 under age group. So it must be 2 and 3, which makes 5. And then you add. It will show here that you've got 5 business administration officer. To capture the next one, you do the same. Maybe now we can, you know, the code for the occupation that you require to capture. You can just type 2019-541401. This code is for security officers, and you search. So it will show you that this code belongs to security officer. Then you select. How many security officers do you have? You can say we've got 2 under African female and 2 under male white. So altogether we've got 4 security officers. All of them are between 35 and 55. So all 4 are between 35 and 55. You type 4 there, and then you add the information. When you're done listing all the employee in the organization, you move to the next form. So now we've got 9 employees in this organization. You go to section C2. Section C2, you are going to tell us how many employees are there again in the organization. Already we've got 9, and all of them that are in Gauteng. So this is correct. And then if you want to edit, maybe information is wrong, you just go and click edit and you type the correct information. But normally it will be populated from the previous form. So you go to next. The next form will be the scarce and critical skills. For small employers, there's no need for you to capture the information, but if ever you have information, you can go and capture. If you don't have any scarce and critical skills in your organization, you are going to click all no scarce skills in the organization. So that form won't require you to capture more information. But if you have, then you'll be required to go and capture. So what will be required here, again, will be the occupational category, which will be 2019 OFO code 541401 for the security, and then you search. Or either if you don't have the code again, you go and search it here, security officers. You search, and then there it is, security officer 541401, you select. And then what is the reason for the scarcity? There's a drop-down list there where you are supposed to go and click the one that is relevant. Maybe it's absolutely scarcity due to growth and expansion. You click on that one. Other scarce skills. That's 0. And then estimated number that you require in your organization. Maybe you need 5. Number of qualified person imported into South Africa. If ever there's no one in your organization that is outside South Africa, you say 0. And then the name of training program that will be undertaken to address the scarce skills. Maybe it will be GSO. So you just type GSO there and then you add. So all the information that you have captured will be there. If there's another scarce skills, you keep on adding. We go to the next form, which will be the critical skills. Same as the scarce skills. If ever there's nothing, you just click on no critical skills, and then you move to the next form. But only for small organization, that will allow you there. For large organization and departmental organization, then you'll need to capture something in there. You go to the next form, which will be the strategic objective. Here it's asking what is the strategic objective of the organization, and then you're going to type there A, B, C, D, whatever the strategic objective of the organization it is. So you are limited into 5 strategic objectives. So you must list the 5 top one. If you've got 5, if you've got 2, you can just type 2 and then you save. After saving, you go to the next form. Planned beneficiary of training. The training priorities of the organization. Here you are going to list the training priorities in the organization. If it's a security guard organization, maybe it's to guard the nation. You can just go and type guard the nation there. And then you save. You go to the next form. On this section, you are going to list the planned beneficiary of training. Here you have already done a skills audit and you know which training is required for the organization. Then you are going to capture all the information in there. Here we've got from your section C1 where we have listed all the employees in the organization. You've got unemployed and employed. So here you are going to tell us which one are you going to train. If ever is an employed learner, you're going to say employer under the socio-economic. The occupation category, it will be the security again, 541401. You search, you highlight it, and then you select. And you are going to tell us the type of intervention that will be undertaken. Maybe it's a short course, you click on short course. Name of the intervention, it will be GSO again, or grades. And how many people do you intend to train? If you are going to train 10 male African, you say 10 male African, 5 female African, 5 white, whatever the number that you have planned to train. So here we say we're going to train 20 employees. And what are their age group? 15 are under 35, and 5 are between 35 and 55. If here I go and type 2, we'll be having 17. When I go to next form, it won't allow me because the information that is in there, it will be incomplete. Maybe it might allow me now, but when I go to submit, it's going to tell me that the information that we have captured is incorrect. So I'm going to the previous form to fix my mistake. I didn't save the information, so now I'm going to retype employed 2019-541401, and then I search security officers. And we're going to do a short course under grades. We are going to train 10 African male, 5 female, and 5 male whites. So altogether there are 20, so it's 15 and 5 under the age group. We go to the next form. Now you add, and then you go to the next form. The next form is asking about planned adult education and training. This one is only compulsory to government department. Private, you don't need to capture any information. But anyway, if ever we'll be capturing information, those that are training, we are required to go and capture, you highlight the information, and then you edit. You populate the information about how many are you going to train under ABET. So we're going to train 1 African male, and we update the information. And then we save. You go to the next form. The next form is asking about the planned beneficiary of pivotal training. Here you are going to give us information about those that are going to do training under higher education and training. So we're going to train here maybe an advocate. And all the occupation that we are using here, they must be coming from C1. You cannot come with a new occupation. So here we are going to train an advocate, which is 2019-261106. And you search, you highlight, you select. What is the type of pivotal training that we are going to undertake here? Maybe it will be a learnership, name of the program, legal, and the NQF level, and you're going to click, maybe it's NQF level 7. And how many are you going to train again? So we're going to train 2 African male and 2 Indian male. And all of them, they are between the age of 35 and 55, so it will be having 4 that we are training here. So we add the information, and then you save. We move to the next form. The actual training. So here we are going to the annual training report. Under the annual training report, we are going to report on the training that happened from last year, March, to this year, April. So here you are going to select the socio-economic status, the occupation that has been trained, 2019-541401. and we search. Sorry. You highlight the occupation, you select the type of intervention. It was a short course that was done. Name of intervention, it was GSO. Name of institution, maybe it will be Fidelity. How many has completed out of the one that we have planned? Maybe we have planned for 10 and only 5 has completed. So you are going to say 5 has completed and 5 did not complete. What is the reason for non-completion? And you're going to say dropout, whatever the reason will be. And we're going to type them in here. So we have 5 has completed. All of them, they were under 35. And you add. Another thing here, because what you have trained there has been planned the previous year, you can go and import previous year's data. So there's no need for you to go and capture all the information all together. You can just go and import data. You press that button and all the information for the previous year will appear here, and then you can go and edit. If you want to edit, if you want to remove all the information, you press on remove all, or you edit and change the number. So there's no need for you to go and capture all the information over and again. So we go to the next form, which will be the completed ABET. So here you are reporting on the ABET training that has happened in the previous year. So you highlight there, you edit if ever there's something to report. If there's nothing to report, you click on nothing to report, and then you save the information. You go to the next form, expenditure of training budget. So here you said you're planning to do a short course. So how much will it be spent? And then you say maybe 25,000. So it will list all the training that we have done here. All you need to do is go and put the amount that has been trained. And then the expenditure of additional budget. This is the training that is done without your budget. So maybe SASSETA has given you learnership and you're required to report on them. You're saying that SASSETA has sponsored. How much did SASSETA pay? Maybe it was 125,000. And what is the name of the project? It was GSO learnership. And you save. You go to the next one, the impact assessment. For what reason did you decide to undertake the staff training? So here you are going to click whatever that is applicable to your organization. Maybe it's to reduce business risk, or to increase revenue from current operations. So you're going to tick all that are relevant there, and then you save. You go to the next form. Here you are reporting about actual pivotal training. So it's the same. That one was the actual normal training, and here is an actual pivotal training. So you complete as I shown you before. You go to the next form. After completing, expenditure of pivotal training is the same as I've shown you before. We go to the various report. The various report is actually going to indicate how many you planned and how many you trained. So you planned for 49 and you trained for 54. So what was the reason for the variance? And then you click there, maybe changing the company objective, and then you save. After doing that, you go to the back to MGA forms. So you have captured all the information for all the sections. You are going to submit the information that you have captured. You go and press that submit MGA forms. Don't forget to press that button, because most of the company, they can capture all the information and forgot to press that button. So after pressing that button, it will give you all the errors. It will tell you that unable to submit bank confirmation letter. So which means what all you're missing here is the bank information letter. If ever that it shows that error message, you go to the main page. You go and upload that document that is required. The bank confirmation letter. After uploading, you go back and submit, and then your WSP will go through. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mihloti, for taking us through the WSP submission online demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to take this opportunity to address the questions that you are posing to Mihloti. And the first question for you, Mihloti, is, where do I send my SARS statement of account to?
Thank you, Program Director. All the information related to WSP submission can be sent to wsp@sasseta.org.za. Even the SARS document can be sent there, or it can be uploaded on the online submission when you submit the WSP under Upload Document EMP201. Thank you.
Thanks, Minga. The next question is on the submission of the banking details. Do we submit our banking details online, or do we send the hard copies to SASSETA?
Upon submission of the WSP, you have to upload the banking details, and it must be recent, not more than 3 months old, and the originals must be sent to SASSETA via courier, or you can hand deliver to SASSETA.
Okay, so it's both ways.
Both ways.
Thank you very much for that. The next one is on SDF registration. How do I register as an SDF with SASSETA?
Before you can be registered as an SDF at SASSETA, someone in the organization senior must appoint you as the SDF, and they must write on a company letterhead stating that you are appointed as their SDF. Then you can register online. Someone at SASSETA will approve your SDF registration.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And the next theme is around first-time WSP submissions. What is the deadline for the submission of WSP for first-time submitters?
WSP must be submitted before the 30th of April every year, whether you are the first-time submitter or been submitting all along. But for the new organization that just registered, you've got 6 months to submit your WSP, but it has to be submitted within that 6 months.
Okay, thank you for that response. The first-time submitters, are they expected to complete the annual training report?
No, they are not expected. When you submit your WSP via the online submission, there's an icon where it asks you whether it's the first-time submission or you've been submitting all along. So if ever it's a first-time submission, you have to tick no so that it doesn't create an annual training report for you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And then in the system, where do I find the information that says the mandatory grant, the 20% mandatory grant will be paid quarterly? Where in the system do I find that?
No, it's not in the system, but it's a regulation that you got 20% upon submission of the WSP.
So in a nutshell, there's nowhere in the system where you can find this information. But ladies and gentlemen, if you go back to Mikey's presentation, I think the payment intervals have clearly been outlined. But if you are looking for it in the system, I don't think you'll find it in the system. Okay? The last one for you is that they want to get clarity on companies that have got more than 500 employees. Do they have to fill in the D1 on scarce and critical skills?
Yes, all large companies have to complete the scarce and critical skills on the WSP.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to share with our delegates?
What I want to share is that our WSP online has been simplified. Previously, you have to capture employed and unemployed separately. Now the sections are combined. So upon submission, you have to click whether it's unemployed or unemployed under socio-economic. So you have to tick there. Okay. So they are combined, the sections. You don't have to capture employed and unemployed separately.
Much appreciated. Before you leave, the registrations or the applications for the mandatory grant for 2021-2022 are open. Can you just emphasize that point to our delegates to say now they are open?
The system has been open from the 18th of January 2021, so everyone can go and capture the information. And after capturing, don't forget to press the submit button, because if you leave it like that, your WSP will stay on created status. So after capturing everything that required to be captured, you have to go and click submit button, and you'll get an acknowledgement that you have submitted. If you don't get an acknowledgement later, then you have to inquire with SASSETA why you didn't get. It means your WSP didn't go through.
What if I continue to experience difficulties with my submission? What do I do?
If you experience difficulty with your submission, you have to contact us. You can contact myself, Mihloti Minga, Maki Mulife, Lina Sitole, or Ingrid. Or you can send your queries to wsp@sasseta.org.za, and we'll address that.
Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot, Minga, for responding extensively and comprehensively to the questions that have been posed by our delegates. But still, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any other further questions of clarity, please do not hesitate to submit those to SASSETA, and we'll be glad to respond to those questions. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, while we were busy with our presentations and our Q&As, there are additional questions that came in. Now, in order to respond to those questions, I'm now going to request various presenters that were doing presentations, all the presentations that we had this morning. I'm going now to invite them back to come and respond to your questions. We will be back again in the few seconds. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have now requested Ruth to come back to come and respond to one additional question. And that question is about where to capture information about employees who have been awarded bursaries by their employers. Ruth?
Okay, thank you very much, Program Director. Because bursary forms part of the pivotal programs. In any information relating to bursary, it has to be reported or recorded under Section H, Pivotal Training Program section. Other information that must be reported under Pivotal section as well, it will be learning programs, it will be learnerships, internships, workplace experience as well, that information. All of those different types of pivotal programs must be reported under Section H of the Workplace Skills Plan.
Okay, the next question for you, are you done? Yes. Thank you very much. The next question for you is that a company funded training for client training, refresher training, on fire training, can this be entered?
Can you repeat the question again?
Okay, a company funded training on-site client training, refresher training on firefighting, can this training be entered in the WSP?
Yes. Even if it is a self-funding, the employer has to record this type of training under Section E3, especially if all these training are not NQF aligned. If they are short courses, they must be reported under Section E3 of the prescribed form. If they are NQF aligned, then they have to be reported under pivotal section on Section H1.
Okay, thanks a lot, Maggie, for that response. Is there any other thing that you want to share with our delegates to shed more light on the mandatory grant applications?
Okay. Perhaps I could say that during the compilation of the WSP, as I've indicated in my presentation, to say that the SDF has to take consideration of other information, like to align the training needs with the strategic objective of the organization, and also looking at the amount of work that has to be dealt with during the compilation of the workplace skills plan. I want to remind the SDF to say that, especially for big companies, to say that when she starts putting together information of the WSP, he has to work or she has to work together with the training committee, because he needs support from the training committee to assist him, more especially to gather information from various departments, information about the training needs of the entire organization. But then the SDF can facilitate the process. And then also what is important here is to make sure that the signing off of the WSP, it's one part that is important, more especially for the company that has signed a recognition agreement with the trade union. They must make sure that they consult the trade union to check if they do agree with the information contained in the workplace skills plan. And then once the WSP has been signed by all relevant parties, then it can be submitted to SASSETA. And the other part, Program Director, that the SDF has to take cognizance of is to proofread the prescribed form before even information can be presented to the training committee. Because in most cases, you find that there are those little mistakes that could have been dealt with at organizational level. So for their form to be approved without any waste of time, SDF, it is the responsibility of the SDF. By the SDF, I refer to the skills development facilitator to make sure that he has to run through the form and check if all the information is captured correctly, and then get it signed and submit to SASSETA. And also to monitor the progress, the implementation of that workplace skills plan. I understand, Mr. Program Director, with the private security industry, during our verification, I've noticed that majority of them, they indicated that sometimes it is very difficult for them to indicate what training the employer should deliver during the year, because the only time they know about the training intervention, that's when they have a new tender. With the new tender now, they focus the training according to the needs of the clients. That's where they know for sure which training must be embarked on. But then even the legal services, they have the same problem. They always indicated that at times they don't know exactly what intervention they should deliver, up until the Law Society and the Bar Council indicate to them to say there is a new law that came into play. Therefore, that's when now they send their people to attend seminars and the short courses based on the current needs. So I was just bringing this to the attention of the stakeholders out there to say, even if it is a challenge for the SDF at the time of compilation of the WSP, but it is always important at least to try to train at least 40% of the planned intervention, of the planned training intervention. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Before you leave, why is it important at the employer level for the human resource development component to cooperate with human resource management or human resource administration?
Why is it?
Yes, why is it important for the two components, especially in big organizations? Yes. Why is it important for them for them to cooperate, for them to have synergy between what HRD is doing and what HRM is doing on the other hand, or HI administration? Do you want to respond to that one?
Okay. It is important. It is important for both the trade and development manager and the human resource manager to work together as a team, because the training, the human resource manager knows better. He understands the current state of affairs of the organization. He knows what type of skills is required in the organization. And then working together with the HRD manager, then it helps, because the HRD manager will assist him, will identify relevant courses that would address the needs of the organization.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Mikey. I think you have responded quite eloquently to all the additional questions that we have. We're now going to release Ms. Molefe and going to wait a couple of seconds for the next presenter to come and respond to the additional questions. Thanks, Mikey.
Thank you so much, Program Director.
Welcome back, Rishan. Mr. Govenda is now going to deal with additional questions that are related to his presentation on the OFO codes. And his additional question is, Rishan, must the OFO code correspond with the qualifications of an employee?
It's a good question, ladies and gentlemen. We need to be very careful when we're looking at mapping the OFO code to a person's qualification. I want to give you a practical example in the industry. Let's say, for example, we have a person who studied to become an attorney. The person has studied, done the practicals, done the articles, and is now practicing law. So being an attorney would then classify this person using the OFO codes using 2019-2, which is a professional. All right. Now, the employee decides they want to change in career. And the employee changes their job description entirely and is no longer in the law field. But when that person is mapping in the new organization, when that person is mapping that OFO code and they see, for example, the attorney has now become a clerical or support worker, just an example, but has an attorney's qualification, that's where you are going to have a problem. Because now we need to look at the job description when we are actually mapping the OFO code. If we looked at the qualification and the person is performing an admin job, how do we then classify that person as an attorney? Because they are no longer practicing as an attorney. So your best bet is to map it to the job description of the individual.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rishan. Any parting shot?
When we're looking at that in terms of the qualifications, I know in the previous presentation we've listed that qualifications with NQF level 7 to 10 falls within the first three major groups, which are managers, professionals, and support workers. I think it is 2019-1, 2, and 3. That is more or less of a guideline as to where the person with that qualification will fall. We usually find people who have degrees, honors, masters, doctorates, falling in the higher ranks of the organization. But often at times, with the example that I've given, we've seen that people have moved or they changed careers. So in order to be on the safe side, ladies and gentlemen, please look at the job description when mapping the OFO code.
Okay, thanks, Rishan, and much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, the job description is very important. It is very much important that we have those on paper or wherever we have stored them, because they will come in handy when we have to do our OFO mapping. Without the job description, without the job profiles, it is going to be very difficult for organizations to map their OFO codes correctly. I'm now going to release Mr. Govenda, and we're going to wait for a couple of seconds for the next presenter to come and address additional questions from you. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome back Mandla to come and address any additional questions. And as far as I know, there is only one question that we have for Mandla as an additional question. The question is on the renewal of assessors and moderators. There is a delegate who wants to find out that they have applied for assessor and moderator, and then they have been granted, they have been accepted, but the duration of their application is until 2023. What must they do on the expiry of their assessor and moderator registration?
Thank you, sir. With regards to that, what they need to do is they must remember that their status is based on the end date of the qualification. That's why the registration is also ending June 2023. But what's going to happen now, SASSETA is still responsible to extend assessors and moderators registration. But then for now, they have to wait up until the registration is due to expire. Then we can still extend for another couple of years.
Okay. If they've got any additional questions, what should they do?
Well, if they do have other questions, what they can do, they can contact the ETQA department. They can email the request to arndlebe@sasseta.org.za or myself, msihlangu@sasseta.org.za.
Okay. Any last words for our delegates on ETQA related matters?
Well, all I can say is that Quisite is on board. We are moving away from our current unit standard qualification. We must prepare ourselves to apply for accreditation to QCTO once the current qualification are expiring.
Okay, thank you very much, Mandla, and thanks for responding eloquently to the additional questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, in case there is any question that we did not manage to respond to, please be rest assured that we will definitely respond to any outstanding question. All you need to do is to keep your eyes fixated on our website, where we are going to categorize those questions according to the presentations, and we're going to make sure that each and every question that you have posed to the SASSETA, that you have posed to the presenters, is fully responded to. I thank you, Mandla.
Okay, thank you.
Much appreciated.